Happy New Year, YouTube. Bought myself a present. Yeah. So this is the White Shadow. Yeah. So this is a Vox base. Really been able to find sod all about it. There is one other video on YouTube about a guy who bought one for his son or something. Like he's a sort of handyman, not a guitarist person. So basically he says it's shit. The action's far too high, and he's talking about how the action's really high, and it'll cost £150 to get it sorted, and you're like, right. So if you know what a truss rod is, you know. Also, you're looking at something that's from, well, I really don't know when it's from. The only information I've really been able to find is from like forums from like 2001 and stuff like that. And there's one where a guy has put up a picture of the White Shadow range. He says it's from 1984, and it doesn't have this exact model, but it's got like a one with jazz bass pickups in it, and there's a BBR one, you know, like what the old Washburns did in the 80s, where it's like black with a red binding. But this one is wood colour. So I got a new light bulb, actually, daylight, so hopefully I'm thinking I might actually mount it on the wall there so it's shining on me to get a better view of these things. But you can see this is made of what I think is ash. Two parts, well technically three parts. It's like one, sort of two, and then the wee bit on the bottom, about that much, as an extra bit stuck on. It obviously doesn't quite fit in, and that's the bit that's got a chip out. It's a bit annoying. But yeah, so as far as I know, it's got made in Japan on the neck plate as well. So it really is a question for what is this? Check the bridge. That's in the way. It's got really, really chunky blocks on it. I think what got me was like the way the pictures were in the advert. I mean, I think it's because of that that bad YouTube reviews is the only information you can find. It was really cheap. I got it for an absolute steal. It had a buy it now on it on Christmas Eve or something like that, and it was like 2 in the morning. I was sitting there, I was like, I'm not gonna buy it now. I'm not gonna buy it now, but someone else might. So I put a bid on it, just to wipe out the buy it now, and then had to wait a whole week, and then eventually got it cheap. So that's cool. Yes. So as I said, that advert I saw, or the page for my catalogue, was from 1984. I don't know. Is this from 1984? It's kind of hard to judge because it's to me it kind of looks like an Ibanez RG here, and they didn't come out to 87. But this bit I didn't realise it's got this sort of really strange way. It's like the reverse of a jazz bass body type thing here, which is quite mad. Whereas if the angle it was in the photo, it kind of at a certain angle it just looks like an RG. But it's also got 24 frets, which I don't think was a very common thing in the mid-80s, but I don't know. So this might be the only bit of information on one of these online, so if anyone's got anything, put it in the comments below, if anyone knows any more about these things. As far as I'm aware, Vox obviously made the Vox amps, you know, in the 60s, and they get bought over later on, you know, the AC30 and stuff like that. They get bought over by either Dallas Arbiter or Rose Morris, or one of those sort of London guitar shoppy places. And they continued making them, but they didn't make them Valve anymore or something like that. I don't know. But at the time, they owned the Vox brand, and because they were importing other guitars like your Avon and stuff like that from Japan, I think that's where they got these. So they rejuvenated the brand. It's not a particularly amazing logo on it. The name White Shadow is very cool though. In the 80s, I think. I don't know. Looking up these, I've seen there's a few guitar versions of it I've seen that look an awful lot newer than this. They look 90s. Whereas this, just something about it, just, I don't know. It says 80s somewhere. With a sort of coffee table look. It's not a shiny finish. I don't know whether it's like a matte finish, which just kind of looks modern as well. I don't know. It's bizarre. It's a bizarre one. Yeah. The thing that got me was, what I wondered about it, is the P-bass pickup. It's very here as opposed to being here. So I'm going to try it out in the Sabbath band in the studio and see how that suits. I mean, at the price I got it for, I'm actually considering putting another P-bass pickup in next to it, you know, so like, well, 2 or 4, if you look at it as separate individual bits, and I'll put them in series, it'll make a big chunky one. That, or maybe sticking an EBO pickup in it might be quite nice. But I'll see how it goes. whoever had this before me had it set up, and then it sat for 10 years because the strings were absolutely rusty, and it was really dirty. I didn't realise it was matte. I just assumed it was dirty, but I think it is matte. So I boiled the strings last night in Black Sabbath style. So these aren't even new strings, but when you boil them, it does clean them up a bit. As long as they're not dented. These actually just physically had rust on them, but they weren't all dented. So my thinking is it was set up about 10 years ago, and then never played. Playing through the wee Stag bass amp there, and I've turned the volume down on the mic as well because bass always makes it fart. There's got a wee switch which I assumed would be for it's a wee trick sometimes I do with bass pickups. So these are wired in series normally, so what you do is you wire them in parallel and it gives you a sort of single coil sound, but that's not what these are. I thought it sounded funny, but I looked in the back. It's actually a phase switch, so it reverses the phase. It keeps them in series as a humbucker, but it reverses the phase of one of them, which is something I'd never even considered before. Maybe good for if you're want to play really treble, or if you've got a band with two bass players on it. There's a bit of tone. Whoever plays up there in a bass. So I never really know what to do with doing bass demos. I can play the bass, but in fact I can play bass in a band, but it's not that good for showing off on its own. Yeah, so my thinking is this is like, you get like a super strat. I think this would be a super P bass, a super bass, super P, something like that. Just because it's a little bit pointy. You've got the 24 frets, you've got the bridge humbucker, which is still strange. It's still strange the way it's there. It does seem to sound alright though. It seems to work quite well. And you wonder how much the original P bass position, the reason everyone puts it when it goes in a P bass is just because that's where it is in a P bass. I wonder if any research was ever done. Because it does seem to be, I think, see the reason it's got this extended bit here, where it kind of sticks out a bit. I think that's to make it balance, because it actually balances pretty good on a Strat. It's actually quite a light bass. It's a functional bass. But I would have absolutely no problem gigging this. I might even gig it. I don't know. But I mean, it's as far as and P basses are just brilliant. I quite like the headstock shape as well. It's not the usual Vox headstock shape. Vox is usually a bit more sort of bulbous. I don't know, I didn't actually mention the fact that Vox did guitars in the 60s. You know, Brian Jones plays that teardrop shaped one. There's a few mad looking ones like that, but I don't think they were made in England. Not really anything to do with this apart from it's got the same badge on it. My thoughts about this are it is 84-ish. One of the reasons is backing me up on that is the fact, you know, as I said, it was available in the BBR, so it's like all black with a red binding, because that was a very 1984 thing when Washburn were doing that. So that's when everyone did that. I think it might be a Tushin build, because there's things about it that remind me. I don't have one on the wall just now. There's something about it that just kind of reminds me of the sort of the mid 80s Washburns. Just sort of design elements. The knobs are the same as the ones you get on Vantage guitars. I think it might actually be a DiMarzio pickup. It looks very similar to the DiMarzio I've got in my Schecter and the DiMarzio I've got in my, not there anymore, my PB 1500. I'm sure I read somewhere online that someone said, but you never know, someone reckoned. It looks like a DiMarzio, you know, it's got the hex poles on it, but I think it might actually be one. Because when I had it out to have a look at it, see if it said DiMarzio in the back, and it didn't, but the one in my Schecter doesn't either. It's just like it's got that sort of, there seems to be more inside it than there is inside a normal P-bass pickup. There's like more magnets, less air in it. So interesting bass. And it fits nicely into my early 80s Japanese category where all the best stuff's made. I wouldn't mind knowing a little bit more about it. There's a few things. When did they start putting black tuners on things? Was that a thing in '84? I think the PPRs had that. I think that might have been a modern thing in '84. Ultimately, I think this guitar failed. You know, it wasn't a success. Otherwise, you would see more of them. It's not an unattractive shape. It's a little bit strange. It could maybe kind of a wee bit BC Ritchie, maybe, I don't know. Was that amp on? Bit of fuzz pedal to turn off that amp. I've not quite get my wiring set up quite right. That seems to buzz when it's not on. That might work quite well for Sabbath actually. Yep, so I'll leave it at that. Mentioned it's a full scale, so it's 34-inch scale. It's got a slim speed neck, very similar to the one that's on my Aria Diamond series. Kind of, it's like a super strat type shredder's neck if you get a shredding bass. But no, interesting bass. I don't often haven't treated myself. I was going to do a video for all the guitars I picked up last year for myself, and I never actually got down to it. But it was like 3 or something like that, or 4. It was the Raider, which I always point out. The Wii V. That was kind of it, really, for new guitars this year. Or maybe did I buy the H5 this year? You know, it was like 3 or 4, and I thought that was pretty disgusting with the amount of videos I've done. You know, so I don't know, 50 videos or 100. I don't know how many videos. There's too many. I had a look on my page at the videos, and it was like pure insane number. Was it 800 and something? I can't remember. But I'm nearly at my next milestone with my where did I see it? My 700 subs award that I gave myself. I'm nearly up at 800. 798 or something like that just now. So that's pretty cool. So maybe one day I'll be able to make money doing this. No, but this is sounding great fun. It's lovely to play. Yeah. And I will invest in decent strings for it rather than just using 10-year-old boiled ones. But I think it's rather pretty. So, Vox guitars. If anyone knows anything about them, that isn't from the 3 things that you can find online. You know, it's the guy in 2001 and the guy in 2010 who's got one. You know, there must be more information about that line somewhere. Does anyone buy one new and can tell me that they were definitely new in the 80s? There's a wee niggle about it that says it would be, you know, later than that, but it wouldn't be made in Japan if it was later than that, because only after sort of 88 or something like that, Japan became expensive, so people didn't use it. Unless maybe is that why this bass never did anything? Was it expensive? Was it the same price as a Fender, and people went, oh, I'm not buying that, I'll buy a P-Bass instead, you know? It's like if it's the same price or getting close to the same price. Don't know. Rock and roll.